Yeah, so first I want to thank you for accepting my request and accepting to talk with me.
Oh, sure. Thank you for having me.
So I thought to introduce you to my audience. Yeah, so can you introduce yourself to my audience?
Okay. Well, my name is Hollis McCollum. I am an author of fantasy novels and short stories. I also have a background in immigration, education, and a multitude project management, that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm an author, and that is the main professional part of my life.
Okay, so you are a professional writer.
Yes. As of recently, professional writer. I didn't used to be. I used to be an immigration officer for several years, and then I became a project manager for a while, and I still do contract work in those fields. But yes, the past year or so, I have been trying just to be a professional writer.
So how is this shifting from management to writing?
Well, I always liked writing, and even though I will say it wasn't very good, I wrote my first book when I was 12. Though it went nowhere, and it's kind of the musings of a 12-year-old girl, but I wrote it. So I've always enjoyed writing. I've always enjoyed that sort of thing. So um, when you're younger and you think, oh, I want to be a professional, you choose things that are more quote unquote professional. And then I just woke up one day and I said, why am I doing this? That's not my dream. I want to be a writer. So do that.
So while you was in 12, what you wrote?
I'm sorry?
What you wrote when you was in 12?
Well, it was another fantasy book. I write fantasy mostly. Sometimes I'll do some historical writing, that sort of thing. But yeah, it was just like a fantasy book about an elf or a half elf, and it was they went to an elven city, and there were issues because she was a half elf as opposed to a full elf, so there were some prejudicial issues, and she.
Hello, hello.
Have
Yeah,
you
now
lost
we
your.
are connected.
Okay.
Yeah,
Lost you for a second.
yeah. So you was telling about the story that you wrote.
When I was 12,
Yeah.
yes. I just was saying it was basically about a half elf, girl or young woman who went to an elven city, and they were kind of prejudicial towards her because she was only half human, half elf, and then she met another half elf who was a boy, and they, commiserated together and sort of fell for each other, and that was really the whole story. It wasn't much beyond that. But it was fun.
So you
I'd
create that.
gone further. I'm sorry?
So you created that story.
Yes, when I was 12, that one. My other books that I've published since then are much more complicated and have plots, but but they're still fantasy.
So why you want to write only fantasy?
It's just what I enjoy writing the most. I will, I have been published academically a lot, frankly, over the years. My degree is in history with a specialization in ancient cultures, particularly the Etruscans of Italy. So I've definitely been academically published a lot, and I've done a lot of articles and things like that, but as far as writing books is concerned, I genuinely just enjoy writing fantasy. It's a world where literally anything can happen, and that's a lot of fun. If I want something to pop into existence out of nowhere, I can do it. It's done. There it is. Because it's fantasy.
So other than writing, what do you love?
About writing, I love the creativity of it. I like the meditative state of writing. You can sort of just lose yourself in it and let it go. I'm more of a you've heard of the difference between a plotter and a pantser in writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very much a pantser. I'm very much a let me sit down and just see what happens next. And I enjoy that kind of free falling feeling of it creatively.
So you said you wanted to become a professional writer and you want to shift from management to writing. So what exactly made you to feel like that? You know, you are in the wrong job.
A few years ago, I sat down and I just decided to start writing what is now the published novel To Save a World. And I just wrote, and I sat down and I wrote it, and then I started sharing it with my friends and family, and they all said, "This is great. You have to get it published." And at that point, I just, when I first started writing it, I just thought, I just want to write this for me. I want to write a book. And then when everyone said you have to get it published, I said, oh, well, maybe I could do this. Maybe I am talented enough, because I think I'm generally a hugely confident person, but I think there's always that humility that you can have as a creative, where you go, I like what I do, but art and writing, it's so subjective, and who knows? So, but yeah, when everyone liked it so much, I got it. I did all my research, got it published, and started realizing I could do this. I don't need to do project management for the rest of my life. I could do this. So I started transitioning, because project management is fine, but it's by no means a passion.
So what exactly the point that made you to shift from project management to writing? The main point that is not there in project management and that is there in writing a content.
Um, writing makes me more happy and more fulfilled. I feel like it's truer to who I am as a person. And, project management, it's just a job. Writing is a passion. Project management is a job.
Okay. So I'm sure you are very good in observing things.
Maybe. Occasionally, sure.
So fantasy, what do you write about?
I enjoy grand adventures, things that To Save a World, as you can hear from the title, is basically about saving the world. I created a post-apocalyptic fantasy world where all the gods had warred and killed each other off, and now the world itself had no governance and was a constant state of apocalypse. And the characters had to save it. They had to restore balance to the world itself. But so I like big adventures, like many fantasy authors do, and then I also enjoy romantic subplots. Pretty much everything I write has a romantic subplot, because I am a little bit of a hopeless romantic at heart. So that's yeah. So it's a lot of big stressful adventure with romance peppered in.
So how much time you take to write your book?
Well, it takes me a while, because I still haven't transitioned to where I can be a full-time writer. So I still work. which is why my schedule is so tight, because I have a regular job with meetings and deadlines and everything else that I have to dedicate 8 hours a day to. And so I do that, and I'm happily married, and I take care of my husband, and he takes care of me too, and all of that. And I have my family obligations. So writing a full-length novel takes a couple of years for me. I need to, I would say between 2 and 4 years. My first book took me 4 years to write. Again, with the working and everything else, if I were to just narrow that down to, if I hadn't been working, I probably could have gotten it done in a year and a half. But my schedule doesn't allow for that at this point. So yeah, 2 to 4 years to write a novel, and my novels are usually between 300 and 500 pages long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you were telling about the time period that you took for your first book.
Yeah, so it takes me anywhere between 2 and 4 years to write a novel because I work full time and I have, family obligations and all these other things. So maybe if I didn't have a full-time job and all that other stuff, it would take me a year and a half to write a 300 to 500 page novel, but not with my schedule. So yeah, years to do it.
So what is the response that you got for the book that you published for the first time in your life?
It was great. I published it in 2017. It actually has a 5-star reviews on Amazon, so it is a 5-star book, and it's got, I want to say, like 25 or 27 reviews on Amazon, and it has a 4.8 score on Goodreads and everything, and done a lot of podcasts and radio show interviews. So yeah, it's been very positive. People seem to like it a lot. I get a lot of comments that it's quite original, which is yay. Every writer wants to hear that. So very, very pleased, to the point where I am actually writing the sequel presently because of requests from the readers. So yeah, hopefully I have a series on my hands.
So when it is coming, the next book?
Well, the next book in the To Save a World series, I am still in the first draft stages. So we're looking at a couple years. As I said, it takes me a long time to write because of my timing issues. And then but I have already finished a second novel, that has nothing to do with the first one, also a fantasy-based novel, but a totally different world. And I am currently trying to get that one published.
Okay. So do you have anything to say to the audience and who watches this video from anywhere on this planet about your books and about you or about anything?
Well, I mean, obviously, I hope you'll read my books if you like fantasy adventure with romantic subplots and elves and whatnot. Then yeah, please read To Save a World by Hollis McCollum. It's available on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com, and basically anywhere you can order books, you can get it. It's on the Ingram list, so internationally, you can get it anywhere. You just have to request it. So yeah, I try to always reach out. People want to ask me questions. You can find me on Instagram at Hollis McCollum, and that's J-O, no E. It's the feminine version, and it's yeah, I mean, I always love hearing from readers. I love hearing and answering questions. And, if people ask me to give them spoilers, I will ask you 500 times if you want me to spoil it for you. But if you say yes 500 times, then I will tell you what happens. So it's just, yeah, I love communicating with readers, and I love feedback, and positive and negative. Honestly, as long as it's constructive, I'm glad to hear it, because then I can get better. So yeah, and I love hearing about other authors and people out there. I love reading as well. So I enjoy books and I enjoy supporting fellow independent authors.
Okay. So do you have time? I have few questions.
Hmm.
I have few questions. If you have time, I'll continue. If not, I'll close the video.
I have some more time. Yep, I can
Yeah.
answer a few more.
So you said you love writing and you love listening to the authors too. So writing, speaking, and listening. Which one will you choose if I want you to select only one?
Ooh, I guess I would choose writing. That one's actually tough, but I guess I would choose that one because that seems the most all-encompassing. You could reach broader audiences and communicate best if you only had one choice.
So with which you have connected with more people in your life?
Um, what do you mean, like what types of people have I connected with, or?
No, with which medium? Speaking or writing?
Oh, probably, probably writing. Maybe actually it might be a 50-50 situation. I'm not obviously as an author, my writing has connected me to a lot of people, but previous to that, I would say that previous to publishing a book, speaking definitely was the thing that connected me more. At this point, 50-50. Hopefully, gonna go over to the writing side as I continue.
So you write because you just want to write, or you write because people are wanting you to write.
Well, I started writing because I want to write, because it makes me, like I said, it's my passion. It makes me glad. But I continue to write because I'm so well encouraged by the readers, and not just people like my mom, who was wonderfully supportive, but strangers who I've never met who leave me beautiful reviews and who, email me on social media and say, oh, I love this, or I love your character or something. And that obviously it makes your heart expand. It warms you inside. It's wonderful. And, yeah, it's lovely.
Okay, so I'll put the link of your book in the description of this video.
Please do.
People who wants to read your book or wants to read your fantasy story, they will get your book from the link.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. And if you will please email me the link to the YouTube video, I'll post it on my YouTube channel as well. And then that
Yeah,
way I can get you some more traffic, hopefully.
yeah, definitely I'll share you. And uh, can I put this video on my YouTube channel and on my social accounts on my on internet with your permission?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time and telling about yourself and your books.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the last time I made you wait, and I'm very sorry.
That it's time zones and everything. I get so stringent about time when it's across time zones, and yeah, and like I said, I work full time, so I have narrow windows. So thanks for coming back, because and asking me, even though we missed the first one. So I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's my mistake. So that's why the reason I gave. Thanks for giving again opportunity for me to talk with you.
Sure thing. Yep, it was lovely speaking with you, and wishing you the best. I hope that I'll be checking out your channel more for more authors.
Thank you again.
All right. Have a wonderful night.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.